for the Donald. Right, so this is the big news, right, that the liberals are freaking out about today, that Donald Trump did this campaign stunt, and it just, the reactions have been bizarre. This is a pretty good one. This is big Kamala Harris. The real proof of Donald Trump's dementia is that he would let his handlers do this to him today without pushing back about what a humiliating idea it was. How is this humiliating? Man, this guy finds like manual labor really disgusting. How is that humiliating? Right? Man, these people just out themselves all the time here. So there's a video of it, but also much more interesting, the video of the meltdown. Meltdowns are much more interesting. Yeah, 1 second. This is from Sky.
Customers were shocked over the weekend after they were greeted by Donald Trump at the drive-through window of a McDonald's restaurant in Philadelphia.
Hey. Well, they weren't that shocked. I mean, all the people were vetted to come through. They closed down the restaurant for it. But this is. It's a campaign op, right? And boy, is this an incredibly good photo. Is this better than his post-assassination attempt photo? I mean, is it? It could be. It's fun. It's wholesome. It's like relatable. It's a really good picture, right? It really makes him into a human being.
I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Look at all the fake news now. Hello, everybody.
You can take this, right?
Donald Trump immediately got to work swapping his suit jacket for an apron to start his shift.
Again, this is like such, and they're freaking out saying, it was all staged. Well, yes, obviously. He didn't get a job at McDonald's for a couple of weeks.
That's great, thank you.
This could honestly win in the election. Just this. I mean, it really is a very good op.
Donald Trump worked the floor across the entire McDonald's restaurant, from salting fries.
So grab that.
Let me give him extra.
Poor old JFK is like crossing his chest. Going, no.
No. Yep. Oh, yep. Good. Right there. And then we're gonna grab the fry scoop right here.
Right.
Put it into there and just give him a twirl that way.
And this red tie kind of very much works with this.
To having a chat with customers at the drive-thru.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
Here's the thing. I totally get the adulation, right? I mean, even though they knew he was going to be there, but meeting him is like must be huge.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you.
Again, Kamala Harris couldn't say that quickly. Which is amazing thing. She was so good at filibustering and saying nothing, right? But he actually, I mean, like, you're helping us ordinary people. And he says, you're not ordinary, right? It's really good. Again, that you think about it off the cuff, very clever.
And you are the type of person we want to be the president. Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
What do you think about it? I don't think you thought about much since.
Thank you very much.
And meeting fans desperate to save America.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can
Hey, nobody's as dressed up as these people are to go to McDonald's.
take this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please,
good.
please,
We're going to
please.
make
Brazil's a disaster.
it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you over there.
Oh my God.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
You
see you.
too.
Bye.
Again, this is just, I mean, the fun grandpa uncle stuff.
Thank you.
And it wasn't only the inside of the McDonald's
Again, a great photo op. I mean, just a fantastic, with that tie and the yellow, just a fantastic photo op.
restaurant that was abuzz. Voters in the key battleground state of Philadelphia lined the surrounding streets.
So here's the interesting thing. The betting markets, Trump is up I think 23, 24 points. And the aggregate vote, which is when you add everybody up across America, it goes backwards and forwards violently, right? Some, and these are all legitimate polls. One poll, well, as legitimate as a poll can be, one poll that says, Harris 3 up, another one Trump 3 up. There's like a 6-point spread. It's crazy. There's a too huge a swing. So I don't know. I do think the betting markets might be more accurate, a predictor than the polls now. My it's looking dodgy again. Right, it just that's what it seems like to me. But hopefully, we're going to get to the meltdown.
Waving flags and cheering USA, USA.
Yeah. Okay, they like it, but let's see the liberal media meltdown. Oh yeah. So here's why this is really funny, because Kamala Harris said that she worked at McDonald's. McDonald's now has said, well, we don't really keep records back to the early 80s, so we can't really prove or disprove that. Nobody really knows. But and now Trump says, oh, no, I really have worked at McDonald's now.
Trump didn't pass up an opportunity to take swipes at Kamala Harris.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So.
They lie about so much. It's incredible, right? I mean, it's just incredible the amount they lie about. What's it? Oh, is this not? We don't have the liberal meltdown. Okay, I think they report by the people.
Slammed MSNBC, saying MSNBC.
Yeah.
Was a stunt and that he appears to be unwell.
If you're on his campaign, and I know you are certainly not, I'm not making any implication of that, but what is the logic behind this?
It looks awesome. Makes him look totally fun and relatable. Makes him look like he's got a sense of humor about himself, right? And when you hear him interacting with people, he's charming.
To a McDonald's. I mean, we know the guy likes Big Macs and filet of fish, and he's used the word love to describe the way he feels about the food there before.
Now, again, 1 in 8 Americans has worked at a McDonald's. Like, most people have eaten McDonald's. I mean, I love living in Israel. We have kosher McDonald's. It's awesome, right? And you get exactly the same burger and fries every time. They got their system down perfectly. Great movie, by the way. It's called The Founder with what's his name? Batman. Not Tim Burton. Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton, right? Fascinating. But the dripping disdain for McDonald's. Do you remember when he had some winning football team over, and instead of having a catered event, he just ordered a bunch of McDonald's, a part of it? And they all loved it, right? And the media hated them. I see Mark Campbell's post like.
But what's this about?
There's no logic to it. It's a stunt. He has not put forth an economic agenda.
He totally has. To drill, baby. Yes, in the detailed way.
He, as you know, appears to be not well.
Look fine to everybody. No, again, when you see a man doing a fun thing like handing out McDonald's at a drive-through, right, and taking the piss out of himself, and you say he's not well, that means you're in freak out mode. And
he's engaged in some really bizarre types of activities during this campaign. So this is just another one of those stunts that he will continue on through the campaign. And I think that we need to really focus on making sure that he is not elected, of course, because
he's totally going to be elected. I mean, I don't know. You got your shadow campaign, right? What we're around 2020. Not sure how it's going to go down this year.
He is a threat to our democracy, but also
they'll still be saying he's a threat to the democracy when they perform a military coup to remove him before he takes office.
The Harris loss agenda is about the economy, reducing the cost of living, reducing the cost of prescription drugs.
Okay, everything was groovy until they came about. Now it's all awful. So you're saying they might fix their own mistakes? Really? Well, that's good to know.
Reducing the cost of housing and making life better for everyone. And that's what we have to focus on and make sure we get every voter to the polls.
Finally, everybody's saying that. Both sides say we've got to get every voter to the polls.
And make sure that the voters vote for the future, not taking the country backwards, as you see what Donald Trump continues to try to do.
Yeah, take country backwards to happiness and prosperity.
So I'm urging and encouraging everyone to get to the polls and vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be their next president and vice president.
Political advisor Stephen Chung slammed MSNBC, saying, MSNBC says working at McDonald's is bizarre and strange. This is how Kamala Harris and the elites think of everyday Americans who work everyday jobs.
Can't argue with that. They really do. Well, they are very elite and strange.
Footage without
So, and you have any more footage of them freaking out? I mean, the freak out was really just delicious. Oh, did it stop working? Yeah, let's see if I can get that back.
Customers were shocked in saying a multi-billionaire is serving at the McDonald's drive-through window. Hilarious. Truly a man of the people. And commentator Charlie Kirk doubled down on this, saying Kamala could never. Oh, that's right. She never did. Trump's
That's right. Again, very true.
McDonald's shift comes after he left the audience at the Al Smith dinner in hysterics. Reveals.
Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. He killed that night. This is brace yourself for what?
On to the fun of U.S. politics. And I tell you what, it's been another awful week for the Kamala Harris campaign.
Yeah, like ever since she started doing interviews and came out of the basement, it's been very bad for her, right? It's been very, very bad for her. Anyway, okay. Yeah, we live in strange and bizarre times. So because of that, we have very real, unreal takes on this. So we got this one. And we see what AI, how they understood the event. I love that he's serving cats. I mean, it looks nothing like Donald Trump, but I love that he's serving cats who are all wearing McDonald's hats. And they're just cute. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. I get it. That we live in such strange times. This one's a lot weirder. I think quite a bit better, actually. But weirder nonetheless. Oh man! See, the reason that the left just can't be funny about Trump, I mean, other than they have no sense of humor about themselves, is that they're always making fun of this like fictional version of him rather than the real version of him, right? Which is just that's why none of the jokes ever land. Actually, I'll show you a video of a Harris voter in a second. Oh, they're all crazy. So again, I haven't even listened to these. I just seem like I skim these, and they're all pretty bad.
You're absolutely right. You know it. I know it. I think most Americans know it. Price of groceries is still too high.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Yes, they are. And they're too high because of you. But no, let me see if I can get any of the good word salady ones. Okay, both these ones look pretty good. Let's have a look at this. And that it, like, yeah, they had, I think, Obama's speechwriter or something like somebody who worked with Obama saying whenever she gets a question she can't answer, she just divulges the word salad, and she can't answer any of them. Right? Incredible. And I hope she does Joe Rogan. So that's another thing. When I came out of Sabbath on Saturday night, Joe Rogan would have had Trump on the day before. I'm expecting that to be like epic. Who is this other? which is on the ropes as always.
Her hand saying in a debate when asked if border crossing should be decriminalized, but obviously that is not your position.
I never intended, nor will I ever allow America to have a border that is not secure. I believe we need to deal with.
What they're talking about? You're in charge of the border and it's not secure. 21 million illegal aliens have come. That we know that you can guess about, not that you know about. What do you mean never allowed? You just did. You literally just did allow that. That was your job, and you allowed that to happen with your job.
The illegal immigration, there needs to be consequences, which is why part of my plan that I have outlined, and again, please go to KamalaHarris.com. Sorry to throw a website on you, but why not?
Why not? Why don't you just answer the fucking question like Donald Trump does? Donald Trump will say, I'm just going to do the stuff I did last time. That did the trick.
And you will see that part of my plan includes what we need to do to actually do more as it relates to putting resources in, including increasing penalties.
Again, but what? Why didn't you do this before? I don't know, but again, I don't know. I'm not going to do too many of these because it's like every time I come out with a Jewish holiday, it's the same. It's like Groundhog Day. Kamala Harris screwed up again. Really? Like she turns to look like she's completely unfit for government again. Really? Well, that's a story we haven't heard before, is it? I mean, like, it's just relentless. There's another one. Doink. Video for share screen. Oops, sorry. Doink.
Something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, look, let's be fair. When you've asked anybody this question, they're going to have a plethora of answers, right? I mean, like, everybody knows they're not perfect. But much more so with Kamala Harris, who pretty much destroyed the Western world with her administration, like flooded the country with illegal aliens. Like, I mean, like, not a good showing, right? Not a good showing. Oh, one second. I forgot to do this one in a second. Doink. Doink. Like, this is something that she should. Okay, let's just what she has to say.
I mean, I've made many mistakes. And they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make.
But she hasn't. She doesn't have any kids.
Lots of mistakes too.
Yeah, and you did it without parenting a child. And what's with the weird laughing? So I sold my kid as a sex slave.
In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Wait a minute. What? Well, that expression is priceless, right? Let's just hear her say that again.
It's very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
That's literally what you do. I mean, like, okay, I was going to give up on that one, but I think we've got to go for. That's literally what she does. Right. Again, this is CNN, which should be safe ground, right? It's not like they want Donald Trump coming back, is it? I mean, they kind of do. Saying that Donald Trump would save their company, I think. But I mean, although can you sustain Trump derangement syndrome for another 4 years? That to me is a real question. I remember Josh Stewart came out and said, "Look, COVID was made in a Chinese factory. We all know that, right?" It was kind of a cathartic moment for the world, because the fact that you go, we can stop screaming about this one thing. Yeah, we can stop screaming about that, right? I think after the only way Trump's going to really win is if he has a huge decisive victory. And I think, with all the cheating that's going on, or they're going to try to have going on, whatever's going to happen. Although I just don't think the cheating is going to work. I just think they're going to screw up somehow. That's the way I think it's going down. But I mean, I think if there's not a decisive victory, then he would never be accepted as president. Well, that's why I think there will be a decisive victory. But we have to wait and see. But like, let's say, okay, he becomes president, sworn in, the whole thing. Then a Jon Stewart or somebody needs to come out and say, listen, I think we just need to all chill out a little bit. Like, we spent the last 8 years running around in a state of permanent terror for nothing. Everything we screamed that was going to happen didn't happen, right? There's no fascism in America. You know, everything we were so uptight about, we were wrong about everything. Why don't we just climb down from this insane horse and say, Donald Trump's the president, let's hope he does a good job, and forget with this stupid resistance and get on with our lives and get on with enjoying our lives again, right? Wouldn't that be? I think whoever can do that would just give permission for so many to go just relax and chill out about this nonsense, right?
You criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project.
Yeah, I did all that. I like, yeah, all that happened, right? I'm going to be fucking killed when I'm president. That's what looks like going through our head right now.
Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall.
Okay, no, we're talking about you and the border wall.
So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall?
Okay, do you see how no one's resonating whatsoever? And they did. That's why you had Remain in Mexico, and they were very helpful, right? That's how they stopped people. That basically how it went down.
Did he build? I think the last number I saw was about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across.
Wait. You said you didn't do anything wrong, right? And you will always have a secure border, even though you have a porous border, right? So why are you giving $650 million more if you did it all perfectly?
Across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America.
I think something I could say was part of their question somehow, somewhere, was Donald Trump. And of course, my neighbor, the white dude for Harris, he's like, yes, this all makes complete sense.
America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is.
There is a legal process that you dismantled. Yeah, that you've circumvented the legal process to flood the country with illegal immigrants, much like in England, right? We're like, who's behind this flood of boats? Some civil service fuck, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
The most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded.
Who is not Donald Trump. Who is not Donald Trump, right? Who can be injured one day and black the next day. That's who we need, who laughs insanely and can't answer a question. That's who we need.
The most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on this?
Okay, you've been vice president for 4 years. Who stopped you fixing it?
Just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to.
Why are you still talking about that? I don't know. It's like Hillary Clinton's email server. Old news.
Build the wall.
I'm not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall.
No, you didn't. Does she think she did talk about the wall? I don't know. I feel this is kind of like Chris Chibnall doing Doctor Who, right? There's no way you can hide how epically badly it's going.
Right, we just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Well, why don't you just say I built the hell? Wait, look at this face.
You criticized.
1 second. Just look at her face. Oh my God! It's like the mean girl at school finally gets her comeuppance, right? This is what it looks like to me.
You've been in the position of vice president for the past 4 years under the Biden administration. How can we expect you to deviate from the direction of that administration compared to your own? How can we differentiate your policy and your beliefs from that of Biden's?
That's a great question, and thank you.
Well, that's a great question, and I love great questions. Great questions need to be questioned, right? It's no question if a great question needs to be questioned, because it does need to be questioned, and I want to thank you for that question. I think that answers that question in full, right? That would be a Kamala Harris answer.
First of all, my administration will not be a continuation of the Biden administration. I bring to this role my own ideas.
Wait a minute. You said you didn't do anything wrong and everything went well, right, with you. So why would, if that's going so well, why would you change anything? Okay.
My own experience. I represent a new generation of leadership on a number of issues. And
Joe Biden does know what it's like to suck a cock to get a mid-level political job. I do. Oh, yeah, I certainly do.
Believe that we have to actually take new approaches. For example, what we talked about in terms of housing. My experience that leads to that priority includes what I did to take on the big banks around the foreclosure crisis when I brought billions of dollars to homeowners that were the subject of predatory lending. I know
billions of dollars.
Know what home ownership means.
Yeah, okay. I just want to point out, under her tax plan, every year you're going to be charged 25% of the cost of your house, right? It is unrealized gains. 20% of the accrued value of your house, right, from the time you bought it. So if you bought a house in 1990 and now 30 years later it's worth $500,000 more or $1 million more, you owe the government $250,000 even if you haven't sold the house. It's designed to make home ownership impossible for people who aren't insanely wealthy.
To the American people, not to mention what it meant to my mother, who worked very hard and saved up so that by the time I was a teenager, she was able to buy our first home.
Camilla, did you grow up as a middle-class child? You never mentioned that.
Bring to it my experience actually taking care of my mother when she was sick, and it was, as it turned out, dying from cancer. And so I know what it means and have the experience of taking care of an elderly relative, and I have raised children.
Wait, what's the bloody question? Go back. I want to go back to the question.
Considering you have been in the position of vice president for the past 4 years under the Biden administration, how can we expect you to deviate from the direction of that administration compared to your own? How can we differentiate your policy and your beliefs from that of Biden's?
My mother had to save up for a house and died of cancer is the answer. Okay.
Elderly relative, and I have raised children.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Your degenerate husband had kids from a previous marriage, and boy, is he a degenerate slime. Ugh. Right? They were grown. You didn't raise anyone. They were grown children. What is she talking about? You know, we all can find out the truth.
And so I bring to my priorities and will, as president, a new approach and a new idea, frankly, about what we need to do to deal with the sandwich generation.
Make sandwiches for them? I don't know what you're talking about. That's the thing. I mean, again, but here's the thing. It's going very badly. Everything totally through this. Press the wrong button. Once I go here. I think. Are we going to wrap it up with this one? Probably.
Quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess.
Is she drunk? I don't know. I mean, like, again, every time I come out of a Jewish holiday and there's constant Jewish bloody holiday, it's Kamala Harris doing extraordinarily badly, right? Extraordinarily badly. Oh, was it? I think there's a good parody one over here. Yeah. Fine, we're nearly done because I did see a parody one which I want to show you as well because it was funny. Doink. There it goes. Let's see what this one is. Doink. Share screen.
Do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question, Joe. Well, I am certainly not perfect, so let's start there.
Yeah, we all agree.
Perhaps a weakness. I think that my decision-making process, but I actually think it's the strength, is I really do value. My team will tell you I am constantly saying, let's kick the tire on that. Let's kick the tires. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes.
This makes more sense with it all being spliced together.
Because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess. I've made many mistakes.
Still going.
You know, you make lots of mistakes, too. In my role as vice president, I am, and I think that is very important. Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that...
Does this make more sense to you, or is it just me? Right? I mean, I don't know. I think this might be a parody one as well. Yeah, I'm looking for the parody one, and then we will wrap up on that one. But where is it?
That need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done. I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that they range from, you know.
Yeah. And again, if they cheat, she's going to be president. she's literally one. I mean, the only good thing about Kamala Harris presidency is that it would fit so seamlessly in a shared universe with Keir Starmer being prime minister, right? But although we would all die, I think very, 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 very quickly. So the final one is they ask who is better. I think Kamala Harris or was it Tim Scott from The Office? Was that name Mr. Harris? I think we'll find out in a second.
A weakness, some would say, but I actually think it's a strength.
Well, my weaknesses are actually strengths. Oh, yes. Very good. There you go. Very good.
I really do value having a team of very smart people around me.
I work too hard. I care too much. And sometimes I can be too invested in my job.
Again, the bullshittery, right? The unhinged, relentless bullshittery. Is just cray, baby. Is just absolutely cray. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.